So Tesla is accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment, but should you actually use your Bitcoin to go and buy things? Well, the short answer is no. That may come as a surprise, but let me explain. And the reason why is taxes. So for a more detailed answer, let me explain why you shouldn't use your Bitcoin yet as a form of currency. So I got this idea the other day when I was watching a video by Meet Kevin, and he was doing an interview with the CEO of a company called Voyager, and this company runs a cryptocurrency exchange kind of like Coinbase. The CEO of Voyager brought up an interesting point during our conversation when they were talking about using Bitcoin. And he said that if you wanted to go and buy a car, because of taxes, it would end up costing you way more than it would cost you if you were to just buy the car in dollars. And I had to think about this for a minute to figure out what they were talking about, and then I realized the government doesn't see Bitcoin as a currency yet. The government still sees Bitcoin as an asset. So, if you wanted to go up to Tesla and buy a $50,000 car with your $50,000 worth of Bitcoin, if your Bitcoin has appreciated at all since the time you bought it, then you have to pay taxes on all of that appreciation. Let's explain this a little bit. So just as an example, let's say that in 2019, you bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. And over the past couple of years, it's appreciated to roughly $50,000. So then Tesla comes out and says, we're accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. So you think, okay, well, I've got this $50,000 worth of Bitcoin and I'd like to go get a Tesla. Maybe I'll just go and pay for my Tesla in Bitcoin. So you go on the website, design this super cool Model 3 performance with all this stuff you want on it, and you decide, okay, I'm going to pay in Bitcoin. So you buy this sweet Model 3 that you just designed with Bitcoin, and the IRS enters the chat. And they say, hey, remember back a couple years ago when you bought this Bitcoin and it was $10,000? Well, it's appreciated to $50,000. And so that's $40,000 that you made that you need to pay taxes on. And you technically just sold this Bitcoin to buy something. So with a little bit of quick math, I calculated what the price would be more realistically. So if you had $40,000 worth of appreciation over a couple years, then you would have the capital gains tax of 15% on your $40,000 gain. So that would be $6,000. So not only are you paying $50,000 worth of Bitcoin to Tesla, but you also have to pay an additional $6,000 of taxes to the IRS on your appreciation. Now that's only on the capital gains tax, which depending on how much you make, caps out at a little over 20%. If you bought that Bitcoin less than a year ago, so let's say you got it in 2020, and in less than a year the value of your Bitcoin has gone from $10,000 to $50,000, well now you have to pay an ordinary income tax, which could be nearly double that. And so you would end up having to pay a lot in taxes, and it ends up not being worth it, all because Bitcoin is still considered an asset instead of a currency. Now, if you were to use dollars, your dollars are already post-tax, because as you earned this money through your job or however you got it, you already paid the taxes on it when you received it. So your $50,000 in cash would be worth $50,000, and you wouldn't have to pay any tax. But this asset of Bitcoin is pre-tax. So when you use it like a currency, you're technically selling your asset to buy a product. So for Tesla, this is a win-win. And when you see it from their side, it's a no-brainer that they would accept Bitcoin as a form of payment because they're selling you a product, and in exchange, you're giving them an asset that has the potential to appreciate in value. It's almost like saying, hey, bring us your gold and we'll give you a car. So when you look at it in that sense, it doesn't make sense why you would spend Bitcoin to get a car. So let's give another scenario. So let's say that in a couple of years, Tesla comes out with this super cool mini yacht. And they say, okay, we'll take your house in exchange for this mini yacht. So you could go and give them the title to your house and take this mini yacht. But the same thing happens. If you bought your house at a lower price and it's appreciated in value, now the IRS says, hold on, you need to pay us the taxes on the profit you made on your house, and then you can take what's left over and buy this super cool mini Tesla yacht. So once you look at it this way, it doesn't make sense to use an asset to buy a depreciating product. But once Bitcoin is accepted as a form of currency, the rules of exchange would be different, and I would imagine then that it would make much more sense to use it as a currency, which the name cryptocurrency is kind of misleading because you think of it as a currency, but the government still thinks of it as an asset. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, and also feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more personal finance videos. I'll leave a link in the description for Meet Kevin's video where he interviewed the CEO of Voyager, and I'll mention the specific spot in the video where they talk about this topic. If you have any questions or any ideas about this subject, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. This is an interesting concept that I never really thought about before until I watched that video. I feel like it's something worth discussing and researching further. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.